Hello there. I saw this post on the user forums and I thought I would create a quick and dirty guide about how to create a tool with an offset. So I assume that this user wants to place the tool, which is in his current iteration, looks to be up in the air, to a robot, which is in this station here. So he posted the station here. I opened it, and this is how it looks. I made a bunch of things invisible here, like the cage. His tool is over here, and because it's not attached at the moment, and also he has this fixture, I guess, which means that the tool should have an offset from the mounting plate of the robot. So the first thing I do now is to find what this offset is, and I use this measuring tool and this center finder of circles thing. Click here, make it invisible, and then click there, and we have a value 81.9 millimeters. Good thing to note this down in Notepad or something. Next thing I do, he has already created a gripper, so it's over here. I always, when I modify tools or mechanisms in Robot Studio, always save it as a library and save it somewhere, where you can find it, and then always open a new instance of Robot Studio. I choose empty station, when you go and create new station, and then or you import that library and you work with the mechanism here and not in the other station like this Robot Studio instance. So here I right clicked and modify mechanism. When you do that, all of the components, I guess, of the gripper will be available here in this menu or whatever this is called. And I see that he has created, or he or she has created a open pose here. And if I take a look at the Tooldata and I click here to find where this is, you can see that it is far away from the 0, 0, 0 position. And this is most likely why it's up in the air in his attempt to create this tool. So I would just go ahead and create this from scratch. One nifty thing you can do in Robot Studio is that once you click the modify mechanism here, when you get these things, if you press close on this window, then all of the parts disappear again. And now you can press Ctrl Z or click here, and voila, you get all of the small parts here, which you can work with. So the first thing we want to do here is remove all CAD geometry of these things, because it's just useless at this point. It just takes up resources from Robot Studio when it's used in a bigger station, for example. And then I usually like to rename these things, so let's call it, let's say this will be the base, and then this will be, let's just call it finger 1 and finger 2. Maybe it's even better to rename them link 1, link 2 later, but let's keep it this way for now. And then we go and we position every item in the 0 position. and you can keep it rotated. Well, actually, let's just reset it completely to 0. I think this will make it easier in the long run. And with the fingers, so how do we get them in the correct position there? Let's see if I can do that. So we have to position. Actually, no. We put them all in the 0 position because we will move them later in the create mechanism dialog. What is this? Let's see here. It is 0. Why are they all over there? Alright, so not quite sure why they end up in these odd positions, but let's just place them where we would like them to be. So place, then we go and select this point, and then we select the frame, and we can place them at the 0 over here. Apply, and then we right click, modify, set local origin, and we make this position as their new 0. And we can do the same thing on this finger 2 over here. So, position, place 1 point, and here to here, apply, close, modify, set local origin, just 0 it all out. This one we can all make invisible. So let's have a look what we've done so far. We have the tool over here. If we make it invisible, the fingers are... Oh, I see. So it's the same item but rotated. So we can do that. Modify. Position, rotate. That's around Z 90 degrees. 180 actually. Apply, close. Again, modify, set local origin, and just 0 it out. So now we have 2 fingers and a base. Now we can begin creating a mechanism. We click this create mechanism dialog and we call it fancy gripper. It's a tool, and now we start adding all of these items. Link 1 will be base, and we set it as base link. Yes. Link 2, finger 1, add it, and link 3 is finger 2, add it, and OK. And so now we've created all of the links. We continue to create the joints, and there will be 2 joints on this, and they will be prismatic because they will not rotate. And this is where the fun begins, right? Let's see how I'm gonna solve this. Alright, so I think the easiest way is to try to place the finger in the position where you would like it to be, I mean, graphically. So I'll just place this point of the finger up wait, I'm doing it wrong. I want to modify sorry, this is the one I want to place. Primary point from here to, and we want it here, and apply. So this should be the, no, that was actually wrong. Let me redo that. So finger one, we want this corner to be in this slot here. Apply, right? Yes. And we can do the same with the other finger. So we want this corner to be in that slot. Apply. Right. So now the gripper looks like it's in a closed state, and the fingers on in the proper position. And now I don't know if maybe they're not symmetrical in some way, but I guess you can adapt your mechanism so it fits your purposes. So from this spot we want to create the movement of these fingers, right? So we select prismatic joint, and we would like to let's select this position here, and we want it to move -11. You see that the y-axis in the world is positive to the left from this point of view, and we want the finger to open towards the right, so therefore it has to move negative y-axis. And you can see now that we can have it move according to the green line here, and the min limit can be 0 and the max will be 11. So you see now it moves only 11. And why 11? It's because I saw that in this station they had a pose 11 millimeters travel, so I assume that's correct. And then the second joint we can do the same. Select this position, -11, copy the Z value 0 and was it -11?
This is the Perspective Line radio show.
No, sorry, it's 11 -11. And now there was a mistake, because it's not supposed to move in the negative y, it's supposed to move in the positive y. And let's set this 0. And now you can see that it opens properly, and then we press OK. Great, and so we can now continue to create Tooldata. So right, we want to create the Tooldata, so that's the TCP, and we can have it belong to the base link, and then we have to find how the position and orientation of the TCP, and I assume that it's supposed to be at this height but in the center, because that's where the robot or the tool is going to grip things. And an easy way to find this position is to just we can click here at this point. Again, I have this selection thing, snap object tool selected. Click here, and then you see that it's up in the air but offset some valued number here, y value, and then you can set that to 0 and we will have it in the proper position. And now we have to find these values, and I believe that they were available in this previous station. So if we just modify mechanism and we take a look at the tool data, no, it's not there. Where did I find that? Was it here? Right, so I found the center of gravity is supposed to be 166.699 up into the air, and the mass is 10 kilograms. So since we don't have an offset for the center point of, the tool in my iteration is in the center, I can just add this Z value up and then 10 kilograms, and the rest can be 0, 0 because that is actually 0, 0 here. And so we press OK. All right, there's one thing I forgot. We have to rotate the TCP properly. So how do we know what rotation of the TCP is correct? We can go into a station which has a robot, and we can take a look. So you can see the mounting point here on the robot. X is pointing down, and the Y is pointing to the left, and Z is forward. So if we translate that, so right now it looks like the robot would, this tool would mount to the robot with this side would be up, and that seems, well, I don't know, maybe that's correct, maybe not, but that's how it will be with this iteration. Right, so there's one thing that, well, actually two things that still need to be done, and that is that we still need to offset this gripper 81.9 millimeters up into the air, and then we have to add a sync position. So I already compiled it, so now we have to go to edit or modify mechanism, and then I select all of these items, the components which build, which the tool mechanism is built out of, and we modify, we set offset position with the 81.9, apply. Then we again have to go and set local origin to 0 on all of these parts. And then you can just make this invisible. Here is the new parts where they are. We add a position here. Let's call it open position, and apply. You can call this closed. And OK. Like so. Well, I guess we don't really need the closed because they can use home pos or something like that. And you can see now that we're in the edit, the modify mechanism window, and I cannot press compile mechanism because I haven't made any changes to these values here. But I have moved the gripper up into the air. If I just close this, then nothing will change. So I just just create a calibration position and just remove it again. Remove. Yes. And you can see now that the button is highlighted again, or I can click it, and then I press Okay, and then now I can close. So now we have this tool over here. If I import a robot and I attach the gripper to it, you can see that it is offset some distance from the mounting plate of the robot, and it looks to be positioned correctly. I wonder what this is. Let's see here, joint jog. Oh, that's nice. It's a bug. Let's try to fix it. Control Z. Modify mechanism. So I assume it's one of right here. Base link. And okay. Compile mechanism. Let's see what happens. Joint jog. Open. Open. Close one. Right, so then we go ahead and save as library. Save it as a library. Go into this station. And then we can again with these huge assemblies, just I would just merge them to one part. You know, there's no need to have this huge CAD data in Robot Studio. So anyway, you can do that yourself. Here is the merged part. This old gripper we can remove. We can then import the fancy gripper here. And now if everything has gone correctly, if I attach it, yes, and voila, we have the gripper. Right, it seems that it isn't really in the correct spot. So I would assume, let's see here, we can measure the distance here from let's take this point to here. Oh, that's not correct. How to find that distance? Right, so you just select this one, snap center, click here, and no, wrong. Let's try again. Click here. Oh my god. Oh, why is it selecting? There. I think that this measures from, if we make this invisible, yeah, so you see it measures from this center to the center of here, so it's 14.2 millimeters off. So when we offset the position before with 81.9 minus 14.2, so that is what we should have offset it with. Then it would have been flush to this assembly gripper base thing. Okay, I think this covers all the steps that you need. It's a bit worrying that I think that the TCP has to be offset. That's, yeah, okay. So in this here, disconnect, modify mechanism, the tool data here. It's in the wrong position. It must be offset with the same value as I moved the whole tool up. So it's 244.8 plus the 81.9, and this is the position of the TCP, like it should have been. You see, it is there. And then if we compile, yes. What is this thing doing here? Close. Yeah. So you see, this is the correct position of the TCP, and that's a step that I missed when I did it this way. I mean, this iteration. Okay, a bit messy video. I didn't really have a script here, just I went on as I tried to build this. I hope it's okay. Good luck with your project.